Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make some fabulous breakfast burritos. They are so easy. The great thing about burritos, it's kind of the same thing as like a pizza or quesadillas. You can put anything you have left over in a burrito and you're good to go. Like, it's a great way to clean out your fridge at the end of the week. And I'm gonna give you a couple of different ideas, and also I'm gonna give you some tips on how you can freeze them so that you can have them on hand at all times. Let me run you through what I'm using today. What I have here, of course, are some eggs and milk. What I'm using is my base, pretty much always, are onions, peppers, and jalapeno. I've got some breakfast sausage, no casing. You want like bulk breakfast sausage. And then for some toppings, I've got some shredded Mexican blend cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. I've got some cooked black beans. I've got some salsa, and these are some potato hash that I had in the fridge that I just roasted so that they are fully cooked through. And you need some salt, a little bit of olive oil, and you're gonna need your tortillas, which I have in my oven right now. That's preheated at 400. They'll need to be in there for about 10 minutes just to warm them through. Now, if you want, I mean, you can literally put whatever. You can put bacon, ham, leftover chicken. I mean, I don't care. You can do whatever your heart desires. But you don't want to put, although it would be great with this combination to put like some avocados and sour cream in there. So good. You don't want to do that if you're going to freeze them. So that's why I'm not adding any. What I have here is a large skillet with some olive oil. I'm going to add in my breakfast sausage. And I'm just going to break this up as it cooks because I want this to be in little crumbles. My sausage is cooked. I just took it out of the pan and I just left behind any remaining bits of oil, so I don't need to add any additional oil to this, but if your pan is really dry, then you might want to. And I'm just gonna add my peppers and my garlic. Make sure you switch your wooden spoon when your sausage is just about cooked. And now I'm just gonna add a small pinch of salt and cook these veggies until they cook down a bit. Veggies look good. I don't like to take them too far because I don't want them to be mushy. I don't want them to lose their texture and their color. So those are ready. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to my eggs and my milk here. I just like to add a little bit of milk and then just whisk, whisk, whisk. Man, there's a couple yolks in there that just don't want to let go. There we go. And then you're just going to pour this mixture into that mixture. If you have picky eaters at your house and you're making these in advance to freeze, you might want to scramble your eggs separately from your veggies and then go ahead and top them with just cheese if that's what they want. That way you have options. But for us, I know that this is my base with my eggs, and then I can just play around with the toppings. So I'm just going to pour that right in. And I'm just going to cook these long enough for the eggs to set. And I pretty much move everything around with a wooden spoon the whole time. My eggs are ready, so just everything is pretty much ready to go. I've got my assembly line. Now, if you're not going to freeze these, which I'm going to freeze most of them, you can roll them up, stuff them, roll them, put them seam side down on a baking sheet and pop them into the oven just to allow the cheese to melt. If, however, you're going to freeze them, you don't need to worry about having to put them into the oven for the cheese to melt. All you're going to do is wrap them, fold them and then wrap them into foil, like little pieces of foil. Place them in resealable like freezer bags and then pop them into the freezer until they're completely frozen. And then when you're ready to eat one, or for me anyway, like I'll know if in the morning I'm gonna have to take one out for Joe or something, so I'll take it out the night before out of the freezer, put it in the fridge, it thaws overnight, and then unwrap it from the foil, and you can either pop it into the oven with the foil or just in the microwave for a couple of minutes to melt the cheese. So that's pretty much how you do it. I'm gonna put in the description of the recipe on my website, I'll put the freezer instructions so that you have them handy. But to just fill them up, the important thing to remember is that you don't want to overfill. If you overfill, then it becomes a disaster. So this one, I'm just going to do the egg mixture, a little bit of the sausage. Now remember, you can play around with whatever you have on hand. I mean, the sky's the limit with this. And then I'm going to do a few potatoes. This is like what Joe prefers. I like it with the black beans and salsa. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then you do a little cheese. And then to fold it, You bring in the sides, okay? You bring in the sides and then the top, and then you kind of push all the stuff towards you like that to keep it all closed. And that's how you fold a burrito. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fold that up into my foil, and then in the freezer, this will go. I'm gonna do another one, except this next one is my personal favorite. I love this. It's kind of like a Tex-Mex, I guess you could say, version. You do your eggs, black beans. If I wasn't putting these in the freezer, I would put some avocado in here as well and some sour cream because it's so yummy. And then a little bit of salsa. I have learned that you don't want to put fresh tomato in here because it's too watery. So it makes everything really mushy when you go to reheat it. And then some cheese. And then you fold the sides like that. And then you fold it like so. And there you have it. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go ahead and continue to do all of my breakfast burritos. I am going to pop one into the oven so that you can see what it looks like when it's all melty and cheesy and delicious. And I'll show you what that one looks like when it comes out. And I'll give it go give it a taste. So it'll be so difficult to give that one a taste. My burrito was in the oven for 5 minutes. Make a little slit. Look at that gorgeousness. Oh, that looks so good. Now remember, my mouth is watering. The rest of them I've individually wrapped. I'm going to put them in a freezer bag and then I'm going to pop them into the freezer. And then say, for example, tomorrow morning I want to have, the next day after tomorrow, I want to have a burrito for breakfast. I'll just make sure tomorrow night to take one out, put it right into the fridge, wrapped up like this, and then I'll just take the wrapping off of it, put it on a plate, pop it in the microwave for a few minutes just to let the cheese and everything kind of warm through, and I'm good to go. But if you don't want to use a microwave, you can pop the entire thing in the foil in a hot oven, 375, for like 10 minutes or so. But just make sure you take it out of the freezer the night before so you give it a chance to thaw. Okay, I'm gonna dig into this because it's so yummy smelling. Who doesn't love breakfast burritos? I would love some sour cream right now though, but that's okay. I love breakfast burritos. I love the egg, I love the peppers, I love the salsa. I did sneak in a couple potatoes in there. It's for the baby, not for me. I think that this is going to be definitely on your recipe list to go ahead and make, and you should really make, I would make probably about a dozen of them if you have a family of 4, and that way you are ready to go for a last minute, really easy, no-brainer breakfast if you really are on the run and you need something substantial. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bring me some sour cream and hot sauce. I'd appreciate it.